Hello, my beautiful audience, and welcome to Ville. If you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe, or maybe even a comment to let me know. Enjoy the video. Alright, and we're picking up right where we left off. So this next one is a little bit more advanced because it does have you buy furniture and do a few different things here and there. I do apologize. I think this was the one that had you do completely redo a room. So let's see. Talking about Mr. Douglas. That's actually who we worked with previously. He's my neighbor. We've known each other for a long time now. Want to surprise my daughter for her birthday while she's away. She's too grown for that kid's room now. Can you reconstruct her room, please? Let me see. I think this was the last one I did when I kind of played through it just to see how the game was. Go ahead and accept. Let's double check. Yeah, it's like 9 a.m. We're fine. So let's go ahead and get in. Let's see. I do apologize. I had a little bit of a break in between the last episode and this one. Uh-oh. Am I stuck? No, not really. There we go. That got it. Good. Let's see. All right. So this one, it's going to be a lot better for us to actually back all the way up to the door. A little bit more than the previous one, Mr. Douglas's house, because there's a lot to move out in this one, and I think this is going to be the kind of like the meta going forward. Just make sure you get all the way up to the door so that you can have a much better throughput for what you're doing. Let's go ahead and back up here. There we go, all the way up to the door. Furniture store. Aha. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and cancel that because I already know what to do for that. We'll go over it as we get to it. Mission snapping objects. So this one, yeah, when you're holding an item, you can just hold F. You can just snap it into place, and works really well. I'm actually surprised with how polished this game is, especially considering the fact that this is actually talking about how to remove flooring. You use the sledgehammer to do that, and we'll get into that as I do it. But I'm going to move all the furniture first before I do that. So yeah, as you see, there's a lot here. The way that we're going to do this, and like I was saying, I'm really surprised with how polished the game is, considering that it isn't just barely early access. So let's go ahead and we're going to pack this. Hold R. There it is. And you can put down the box. These boxes are what we're going to be loading into the truck. So it's a good idea to kind of like get them all packed up, kind of get them sitting here. That way they're not out here in the middle of the floor. Because it will take 2 trips to do this. I know this because I've done it already. Go. And of course I could rotate these and do other things with them, make them a little bit neater. But there's not really a need to right now. So I'm just going to kind of get them slapped onto the floor just so I can get everything kind of out of the way. And I can see the pile of things, especially like right over here next to the door, so I can just move them out as quickly as possible. Not have to waste a whole lot of time on the loading process, because like I said, this will take 2 loads. This truck is very, very small, unfortunately, which does mean that, yeah, this early game is going to be a little bit of a struggle, and I think they kind of intended it that way. I'm okay with it, honestly. I'm okay with it because in House Flipper, the way this would be done is I would just be running around with the cell gun, sell, done. Okay, now let's open the tablet. Let's get some more stuff in here. But in this one, it's a little bit more methodical. It makes you think about what you want to sell and replace. Entirely because it does take that little bit of extra effort in order to do it. Like, you can't just pull out the cell gun and sell an item and then pull out your tablet and replace it all in one go. Ooh. I'm trying to put the teddy bear back. That's a giant teddy bear, by the way. So one thing I do notice is in this room, I do see that there's a little bit of a broken texture here for this molding. It does make me think that I'm actually going to be able to place molding at some point, but I haven't gotten that far myself. I only played a very little bit of this game in order to kind of get myself accustomed to how the engine works, make sure that the game was going to run okay. More or less, just make sure that this was going to be a good game for a playthrough. And I'm super happy that I found this game. I really am. Not to say that I needed a replacement for House Flipper. I'm definitely going to keep it on the channel. It's not something that's going to go away immediately. I'll probably still do like the mod review Mondays and talk about like a few different builds here and there as like updates come out. And I'll look at the updates. But House Flipper 2 unfortunately is losing a lot of traction here very, very recently. All right, so let's go ahead and get some of these loaded. I'm going to drop this so I don't accidentally click it while trying to do this. And I'm going to toggle on my run so I can move this a little bit faster. And I apologize if it's going to make you dizzy. I do play on PC with a little bit of a jittery mouse. At least it looks jittery on screen. It's actually a fairly low sensitivity, if I'm dead honest. I actually use a very precise mouse. I use I hate to say this, but I do use a Razer. The reason I use a Razer is because my favorite mouse of all time, the Logitech G600. Of course, I mentioned on the channel a lot that I've played World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV, Guild Wars 2. I've played a lot of MMOs in my life. And I just found that the G600 was my favorite mouse for doing that because I could just map so many options to it. We're almost full here. I'm going to make sure we get like a complete fill so we're not wasting any space on this trip. So that's all we can fit in here. We'll go ahead and oh, hello. We'll go ahead and we will take this over to the pawn shop to get it sold. But I'm using a Razer. And with that Razer comes a lot of DPI and a lot of leeway for how to use it. I actually don't use it at like a higher setting necessarily, but I don't use it at a low setting either. I kind of middling, and I've just gotten very accustomed to moving my wrist a lot, which honestly is not a good thing. Listen, if you have the option, turn your DPI down. It's not worth it. Just leave it sensitive. Especially in the long term. Like, if you can stand it, just don't do it, because... Oh, come on, really? Turn off there, fine, yes. And the reason I say that, I have carpal tunnel in both of my hands. Yeah, it sucks. Like, I'll just be sitting at, like, I don't know, a dinner table, and if I put my wrists or forearms against the edge of the table in just the wrong way, my hands will get tingly, and I get like that customary numbness in my fingers that kind of works its way down. That anyone with carpal tunnel will tell you it sucks. It doesn't necessarily hurt, it just sucks because you can't feel your fingers. I have it in both hands because I do work IT, I play video games. Ooh, I'm trying to drive this thing like a Reliant Robin. Don't worry about me. So, yeah, it sucks. Don't do that to yourself. Get wrist rests. I was afraid I was going to mispronounce that. Get a wrist rest for your mouse. Get a wrist rest for your keyboard. Like, don't do it to yourself. It sucks. It really does. There was a very long period where I didn't have the money to really afford that kind of luxury. And I do mean that. I did not have the money to afford that luxury. So I just had like this old keyboard and mouse from a Dell XPS that my mother bought for me in 2006. I say that, but really, she bought it. I paid her back, my mowing-in-laws, that kind of thing. It's really hard to articulate that kind of thing in like a few words. But it was from like 2006, and I had that set for a very long time. I'm talking, like, I remember pulling it out of a box in like 2016 and thinking, wow, I still have these? And of course, they were still usable. But very importantly, that I'm not going to have a full set this time. I'm not going to be able to. I may have to make a third. I thought I did this in 2 trips. No, because I'm going to end up with one extra. One half box extra. Man, that's going to mess me up. Ugh. Okay. Maybe it'll let me put it in there. Please. Please let me put it in there. I'm going to try it. I'm pretty sure it only lets you go up to this depth. Ugh. I'll at least set it outside if anything else, and I'll just... Nope, not going to let me do it. I'll set it right here, and I'll come back to it later. But anyway, I had that mouse and keyboard, and the problem was those things were not ergonomic in any way, shape, or form, but they worked. They were very durable. I mean, it was like, the mid-2000s Dell stuff that just really worked. It really, really did, and I loved it. And, let's see... That's right, we're going to the pawn shop again. I lost track of what I was doing while over here trying to talk about it. Yeah, that mouse came with like one of those metallic bottom, like super stiff mouse pads, and it was like really high quality. By the time I got rid of it, I remember I had worn the vinyl layer completely off the top of it from using it so much, and was just down to the metal. Like, that thing was durable. Like, the mouse never stopped working, never had a problem. Mousepad was always wonderful. Keyboard was always wonderful, on target, never had any problem with keys going out. That was my first nice computer that I played World of Warcraft and like Guild War, original Guild Wars on, things like that. Let's go in here. We'll go ahead and sell this stuff while we're here. This stuff doesn't really sell for a lot. Yeah, like $5 and $6 a piece for like some of these items, and it gets up there. It gets up there for like beds, but still, the fact that it's a whole bed for $41, the tent is worth more. Like, look at that, the tent is worth more. Got a couple lamps and things like that. So these higher quality items, the higher star items, do look like they sell for a little bit more, but for the most part, it's crap pricing. Like, we're gonna watch it up here. I'm at 23,073. Sell all, and so yeah, just shy of $300 for all of that. Like, you think, is that $300? That's good fuel money, but yeah, no, that's terrible. But anyway, I had those peripherals for such a long time. I remember that I had worn in my wrists, in both of my wrists, I had worn a flat spot onto both of my wrists, and they're still there to this day. My wrists never reformed themselves completely. I mean, they mostly have, because I use wrist rest now on both of my peripherals, but I never had the money to kind of afford a nice set of peripherals like that until I started actually working in IT at my first IT job. And I'm going to tell you, when I started making that first paycheck, I was making $15.50 an hour. That was in 2014 that I started that. And I'm going to tell you, I thought that I had money. I genuinely thought I had just like actual money. Yeah, no, I did not. I can turn off run now, so we're not going to run around the room anymore. Go ahead and go and demolish, and if I remember correctly, yeah, it clears out like 9 at a time. There we go. So yeah, I ended up with carpal tunnel mostly because recently there's a nerve that runs through your wrist that affects how the wrist is used. It's the primary nerve for your hands. I apologize. I'm not a medical expert. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but there's a little band of sinew that kind of goes around and kind of keep it in place in your wrist, and it can kind of push against that nerve, and that's what causes carpal tunnel. So of course, now that I have it as bad as I do, of course, I'm looking back and being like, maybe I should have done a little bit more to try to afford, the better peripherals, that kind of thing. And let's see, in here, what we're looking for. You know what? I'm actually going to go into skills. There is a skill that allows you, I don't know where it is. Technology, unlock mission. There it is. Unlock mission buy. That's what I want. I really want to be able to use the merchandise uh, or the sweet talk because getting it this early in the game is a great option for both of them. But that mission buy is going to be really really handy for us. So let's see tool skills. What skills do I want to move up the fastest? I remember the first time I thought to myself that the painting was not great, and I wanted to get it up really high really quickly to see if I could actually make it worthwhile and not so weird to use. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with painting, and then from here, I'm just going to go with speed because grabbing speed this early, especially, I think is going to be a really good option. All right. So here we're going to need, let's see, well, we want to paint the walls. I'm looking over on the left under the bedroom under the top list here. We're going to tile the floor with parquet. We're going to, then it's all buy furniture from there. So as far as the walls and the floor, one bucket of paint and one pack of tiles will actually cover both of those. So we'll go ahead and get that taken care of, and then we'll go next door of the hardware store, and we're going to grab the furniture. Let's go ahead and we'll go out. And I do apologize. I have actually learned this little suburb over here quite well, just from driving around it in my little play test, make sure that everything was working okay. So I do actually know where those are in relation to where I am. So there's like this nice little main road. This goes all the way through the center, and if we follow this road, it becomes a highway there towards the mountains. You see the trees clipping in and out of existence there in the distance. Go. And this actually leads up into the city on that side, and if it kind of curves all the way back around and makes a giant loop. Let me actually open the map and show you what I'm talking about so that I'm not just talking out of my ass here. So here it is. This is kind of what I meant. So you follow this road and it goes out of this little area, kind of goes right up here next to this mountain, curves around, goes through this. I'm not even sure what you would call this interchange, but it looks like at least a partial cloverleaf, so that's what I'm going to call it. You go through the partial cloverleaf, and that brings you onto what looks like a primary road. I'm guessing it's an industry road for accessing the dock, is what this was intended to do. But it does take you up here into the city where you can access, like a few different things that you can't access in the smaller town over here. Because you do see like the electronics, you see like the pawn shop, and a few other things here that the basic things you need to accomplish what you need down here. But there's nothing that's really like out of uh, out of scope for anything you need here. Like this is just self-contained. It is everything you need, and that's it. And it looks like it does have like a cargo dock hub. I'm not quite sure what this is meant to be, but you look at this and you realize how far this is from this. That's massive. That's like actually massive. And then if you look at the other side of the partial cloverleaf, it has this road that comes back down and rejoins back into this little suburb right here, this little neighborhood. I'm not quite sure what this is. I have not been up there. We may just take an episode to just go exploring, just to see what's around. Because I do see there's like a lot of these parcels here. I'm guessing the parcels you can purchase the parcels with paper money. I'm not sure. My alliteration skills are not on point right now. I see a barber. Well, that's nice. I noticed that the parcel next to the camper, the caravan, is not there. Even though we went to it and I know it's there. We'll come back to it later. So I know the parcels do require quite a bit of money. I just didn't really take a whole lot of time to look into them myself, so we'll come back to that. Maybe when we do like the exploration, we'll go around and look at all the parcels, see what happens there. So let's see. The first thing we need, and this is actually where I can go into the mission needs right here, and it just tells me what I need. So paint bucket, and I need violet. Lovely. Purchase it. When I was running through the quick little playthrough, just trying to figure out what's going on with this game, once again, I accidentally purchased a white bucket. completely accidentally. Oops. Yeah. So I ended up with a white bucket. And I didn't really want to. I couldn't sell it back here. I was going to get a crap price for it at the pawn shop. So I just took it home and I was just like, I'll use it somewhere. Screw it. And I kind of ended up abandoning that save file for this one. So I guess it's kind of moot point at this point. But it made me learn that when you have this open, you have to make sure you click on the color you need before you hit buy. So anyway, now we just need the parquet parquet floor, and so it's kind of pointing me out to it right here. We actually get a choice of what kind of wood we do want for it. So we get to choose our texture. And as far as I've been able to tell, it does not affect the price whatsoever, which is honestly not realistic at all. But suspension of disbelief, I think it's awesome that they allowed that to happen. So we could have it match like like the rest of the house if we remembered what the texture was in the house. Admittedly, I don't. I'm just gonna pick one. I like this one. Nice little stained oak. We have like the mismatched boards like this. We have a couple different options here, but I do like this one. I do like this one, so we're gonna buy this one and go to the cart. That's all I need, and buy all. Go. What happened there? What happened there? That looks like paint. Like I really hope that's just a visual glitch. I genuinely do. Also, I do know that if you buy like multiple packs of flooring, they will stack on top of each other, so you don't have to completely waste that space. Like if you could fit like 400 in a single stack. All right, so that's the furniture store right over there. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull over to it, and we're going to. This is where the mission buy actually comes in real handy. Right here, this right here. Pull forward a little bit more. There we go, bro. Hold up. What are you wearing? What is wrong with your eyes? Like, I really hope there's just something wrong with the lighting. I could see like little flecks of brown, but it literally looked like it was just big black dots for eyes. Got like a Charlie Brown character over here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap. No, I know what I'm not. All right, mission needs. This is actually once again, this is very useful because in here you will get the little icon that shows what you need, but they make it really hard to find them. I would like to see a situation where you can truly filter this view by what you need for the mission. Ugh. Yeah, there's not really a way to do that. So let's see. Oh, a return all button. I wonder if that was added since I last looked at this. Because I don't remember that being there. I wonder if the return is for when you make a mistake and you need to return something. I may have misspoke earlier. Uh, I don't remember that being there. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm an idiot. Huh. Anyway, so let's see. Single beds. That's going to be everything. Most everything in here is going to be from the bedroom. So let's see. I'm going to grab a single bed. Luxury point one. So they're not really caring too much about what bed it is, as long as it has one luxury star. Yeah, not really a lot of options. Not really a lot of options, but that's okay. I'm going to grab this one because I think this is the one they're kind of trying to point me towards. I'm not going to do anything crazy with the coloring. I will start caring about the coloring when we start building our own. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and just buy it just as is. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Let's see. So there we go. We have that. Need a makeup table. I remember this one because I started looking at these Harry Barn collection and ended up liking them quite a bit. So for this one, I am going to care a little bit because I do not want to just be this black. So let's go with the body, and let's talk about. No, not that one. A little bit too rough. I wanted it to be a little bit smoother. That's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and buy that. And let's see. I need the Ottoman, I do believe. Yes. And luxury point 2. Perfect. And this one, oddly, the legs are metal. I'm not quite sure why. So I'm just going to set it to matte just because I'm not a big fan of this sort of thing. But I'm gonna set these to black just to match the handles that I had on the makeup table. For the fabric, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to make it you know what? I'm okay with red. I'm okay with red. Let's do red. Okay. Let's see. You need a poster and a guitar. Those come from outside of like the bedroom section. So let's see. Oh, it's getting dark. I can hear the crickets. Uh, let's actually have a look outside. Time is it? It's like 6 p.m. Let's go ahead and we will go back. And what time do I have? Ooh, I'm pretty close to the 30-minute mark anyway. I think all I'm going to have time to do, I'm going to go ahead and go sleep just to say I did. Whoop, I just about went by it. There we go. There is traffic in this game, but I haven't seen like an insane amount of it. At least not in this area. I'm kind of wondering if that's because you have what is effectively the Reliant Robin pickup here. They're just taking pity on you for having the Reliant Robin pickup. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please check out a show called Top Gear. It aired in Britain a lot and kind of came over to the U.S. Sometime after it started airing in Britain. I'm not exactly certain on the time frame. I know that the newer Top Gear is yeah, it's not around anymore. It's not aired anymore, but you can catch episodes of it on like YouTube and like different streaming services. Absolutely amazing show. I honestly thought that the treatment of the hosts was honestly not really very well warranted. I mean, yeah, sure, there's a few things they did wrong, certainly, like the infamous the infamous supercar crash is a really really good one. I'm sure Clarkson's temper is not really well in check, and he definitely thinks a little bit too highly of himself. But you know what? For all things considered, it was a good show. I mean, it really is a good show. It's one of my favorite throwback shows of all time. And the Reliant Robin was actually featured in an episode of Top Gear, is why I'm pointing you to that. It was a three-wheeled car that was very, I'm going to say infamous in the European Union, especially the European countries, because it was a three-wheeled car just like this one that had one wheel in the front, two in the rear, but it was kind of like this hatchback deal, kind of like a Geo Metro with three wheels, if you want to think of it that way. Uh, Geo Metro might be a little bit too old. Think like Geo Metro or like a Ford Fiesta, those small Econo box car, like hatchback cars. It was one of those with like three wheels, and it was infamous for constantly rolling over. Like you would be going like down a hill and you make a turn at the bottom of the hill. If you took it at more than like 5 miles an hour, the thing would just flip over because it had no corner stabilization. In fact, there was a whole racing league for those machines, the Reliant Robins, that would I'm not even kidding. They would put training wheels on the front of their Reliant Robins to keep them from flipping over so they could drive them as fast as possible. It was absolutely a riot. I see it every now and then. In fact, in Forza Horizon, you can buy a Reliant Robin, and there's actually a couple of them you can buy across the series that you could put training wheels on and then give them like 500 horsepower. Why? Because you can. Let's see. You need 2 light nightstands. The Harry Barn. You know what I'm just gonna do? I'm gonna search Harry Barn. Well, okay. I guess caps lock is not gonna help me. Well, that's not gonna help me either. Okay, never mind. I guess screw me then. Let's go nightstand. There we go. Harry Barn nightstand. Well, there's another one over there. I only need 1 point for this, so I'm just gonna buy 2 of these. So let's see. We're looking at the bot. I'm guessing this wraparound thing. Okay. We're gonna make that black. We're gonna do the drawer in this nice one right here. Nice little pine or ash, whichever one this is. We got the details here. That's gonna be it's gonna be the handles. There we go. That works for me. We're gonna grab 2 of those. Let's see. The double window blinds. I think that's gonna be an other. Oh, okay. Double window blinds. And I'm actually going to do those in the same kind of color scheme that we've got kind of going on here. There we go. And the top, going to do the same thing. Beautiful. And the small wardrobe. Harry Barnes, small wardrobe. And I need the 2-star of this one. So this one I can't do just this little 1-star Harry Barn model. I've got to have, there it is, Harry Barn 2-star small wardrobe. Let's grab this. Gonna have black handles. Glass is fine. I'm okay with it. We could probably smoke. Ooh, that's way too much. Okay, we'll just do that one. We'll just kind of smoke it a little bit. And the bottom, we're going to do in black metal. There we go. A large carpet and a round carpet. And actually, those are the names of the objects. Large carpet and round carpet. So we're just going to grab this one. I'm going to give it just a random design. Not sure how I feel about that one. Because the walls are going to be purple. I really wish I could increase the size of that pattern. But that one does work. At least, oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? There it is. It does work. So that's what we're going to do. So there's our large carpet, and we need a round carpet. There we go. And we're going to do a different design on this one. Let's see. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And the other thing was a poster and a guitar. Now, one thing about these that really bugs me, and I'll show you when we go to put this thing up, these are a lot smaller than they would have you believe they are. Like, it's actually kind of annoying if I'm dead honest. Here we go. And a guitar. There it is. $750. Wow. So anyway, we have everything on our shopping list. I'm going to go over to our cart, and we are going to buy it all. 2,000. So there is one thing in this game, and I did notice this when I was playing through previously. When you buy things with a loan, it does cost you more, but it also means it doesn't take anything out of your current funds. I don't know if I just don't have the option unlocked yet, or if it's a situation where I just can't do it with this, like mission items. I'm not sure. I don't know what the rules are just yet. We're not quite there. I bet you I can do... Yes, I can. Okay. Okay. And there we go. And of course, I am going to take these over to the other house. But for now, that's actually going to be it for this episode. We'll pick it up in the next one, and we will go ahead and get that room rebuilt. Have a good one, my dudes. Cheers.